Hey everyone, it's Becky. I'm just here doing this video on the tutorial on that little Matchbox dresser that I made. So I don't know, I'm a little bit nervous. My first tutorial, it might be a process video too. I don't know. I tried to get stuff ready beforehand. So the things that you'll need at first is I just use these little 32 count diamond matches. They're the little boxes, and then they've got, the green matches. So you'll need 8 of those, and I've already glued one stack. So I glued them. I don't know, for those that have done these Matchbox dressers, you just assemble them the way that you prefer. Let me move my camera up just a little bit. The way that you prefer. So I choose to do this, to use this, and it's just the Beacon Fabri-Tac, and then I just glue them together. Try to keep them even. And the things that you'll need for this, I'll just kind of go and tell you as I go along. So it's just pretty much the just the matchboxes, and then the chipboard. I just use my bone folder just to kind of get in the middle. And then the chipboard pieces that you'll use, you'll need a middle, that's 2 1/16 by 1 7/8. That's for the middle. And then the 2 sides are 2 1/16. Oh, they're all the same size, sorry. So you'll need 3 pieces that are, I thought the sides I did a little bit bigger, but I guess not. So the 3 pieces, you'll need 2 1/16 by 1 7/8. And then you'll need a bottom piece and a top piece, and they're 2 15/16 by 2 1/16. So the 2 bottom the 2 pieces, the top and the bottom, are going to be the same size. And then you're going to need a back. And then for the back, it's 3 inches. So it'll sit like this, yeah. So it'll sit like this. So it'll be 2 15/16 by 3 inches. Now on this, what I would do is I would assemble your matchboxes like this, and then measure for your chipboard. Because the measurements aren't going to always come out the same. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes it might be just a hair over this line that you'll need just to get it to work right. So, and then for the back part, what I'm going to do is take a piece of this chipboard that Becky sent me from our swap, and I'm just going to cut it out along the edge, and I'll do that here in a minute. I just have this aluminum foil tape, and I don't know, I ran it through my embosser I'll show you, it's the shattered glass. I don't know if you can see that. It's the Tim Holtz Alterations, and it's the shattered glass one, and I think it comes with a checkerboard one as well. So that's what I use, and it's just regular aluminum foil tape you can get at Walmart, and you just need a little piece of it. So okay, so all you pretty much do, this stuff has the backing on it because it's sticky. Just make sure which way it goes. And it goes that way. So then you'll just stick this like on the edge, and you can touch it up with like the paint and stuff like after, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Because you're going to do like the fronts of the drawers and stuff. The chipboard that I use, because it is a little bit thicker, is, let me see if I can move this up. Oh, without dropping everything. It's this mixed media. It's in the way. Okay, it's this mixed media stuff, and I got it at Hobby Lobby. And it's a thicker chipboard, and I really like it for the assemblage of these. So let's see, it's gonna go this way, so then I'll just need to, it is kind of harder to cut with your cutter, you know, your paper cutter. So I usually just run it through, like run over it a couple of times, and then use my X-Acto knife. Now, and then the other thing we're gonna do is take some tissue paper, and let me just move that back there, and some Mod Podge. And the tutorial that I kind of followed was she used gel medium, so I don't have any of that, so I just used some Mod Podge, and I used the matte. So then all you're gonna do is just take it and cover your chipboard. Sorry, I'm like right in the light here. And then I just take the tissue paper. I actually crumple it up because it helps with giving it texture. And then I just put it on there and rip around the edges. Heat set this a little bit so that we can get everything painted. So I've just kind of put these things together. These are the two sides, and then this is going to be the top, and then this stuff right here is going to be the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue everything down, and then get everything put on the sides that I need to. And then, oh, before I go on, I forgot, I need to tell you, this back part that I did, you know, with the little scalloped edge, you also need to just flip it over and do like the 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch, so that, you know, you have texture behind as well. So I went ahead and did that. So I'm going to go ahead and just do these 4 sides, and then I will put the stuff on the back and glue it as the stuff is drying. So I don't know if I mentioned before, some things, or the glues that I use, of course, is the E6000 and the Fabri-Tac, and then just hot glue. If it's heavy or like bulky for me, I feel better using E6000, like on the wings. And then with this project, it doesn't matter, like if you get glue all over the place, like for the little gears. And these gears are just cut out of the die cut, the Tim Holtz. I'll show you just a second. I'm sure most of you know which one it is, but some may not. Let's see, I used this one, the gadget gears, and I used this one just for the 2 sides. So I just cut it out of chipboard. Let's see, my E6000 always goes everywhere when I take the lid off. I don't know why. Now this is going to be just a little bit different than my other Matchbox because I ran out of some stuff. So I'm just kind of improvising. And then for the wings, just because I had a hard time on my other one, and it doesn't really matter, like as far as, it just adds more texture, I guess, and I liked it. But I just kind of mounted it down with hot glue. And when we get to that stage, you'll see like what I'm talking about. Oh, sorry, I hope I'm in frame here. Okay. And I'm just going to put just a tiny bit of glue. That one. That Tim Holtz ball chain, and we're just going to put it around the edge. So I just take my beacon, or my Fabri-Tac beacon, it's the same thing. And for the bottom, I just use, like, these are from Craft Supplies 1, these little bead caps, and then I just put like a pearl, plastic pearl for the feet, or for the center. You can get it at Joann's. I got like the big bag of them for, I don't even remember how much. So I just take some E6000 and I just put on the end. For the back, I did this part first, so I've already got like all my stuff out. Pretty much it's different than last time because I don't have all the same stuff. So I think I'm just gonna do this. And these little gears I got out of just a clock. I altered one of those clocks for Christina, and I just tore the back piece apart, and these little plastic gears were in there. It doesn't matter, like I said, the color or anything. So let me see, because everything's gonna get covered up. So I figured they'd work, because they're just like the Tim Holtz, kind of. Okay. And then this gear, I just got a Prima clock hand. Oh, and that's a Tim Holtz clock too. I don't know if I mentioned that. And this is one of them gears. I don't remember. I think it's a Finnabar one. It came out not this recently, but the last Cha. They came out, and the metal coil that's on my other one, it came with that too. So, okay, I'm just gonna put the clock hand like that with the brad that comes with the clock hands, and then oh, not that one. I'm just gonna put some E6000 in the middle. Just kind of hold it in place, and then around the back. And then put it on where I want it to go. And then the middle key. I've got stuff sticking to me. This is like the worst part for me because I'm really messy when it comes to glue. The worst. And that's what it's going to look like. And then I had some pearls. And then for these, I just use those ones that you can get in the bling on a roll or the pearl on a roll. Pearl, halfback pearls, like on the roll. And so I just took them and I cut them off. And then I took my tweezers they're kind of hard. And then I just took like a little bit of beacon. I'm almost out, so it's like taking forever to come out. So it's just like that. And that's what your butt's gonna look like. And then when that dries, we're gonna put the clock and the clock hands and all that stuff on the other side. All the stuff that needs to be painted. There is some stuff that doesn't get painted. So this clock face is what I used on my last one, and I got it from Saw Crafters. And then the clock hands that I think I used last time was from Spare Parts, but I don't have any more with the decorative, so I'm going to try and use these ones, and these are just the Prima ones. And then just some regular chain. The chain and the other things, like this filigree, I'll show you. This filigree, which goes on the back when the clock is, there. And then I put just a button in the middle. that doesn't get painted, so that will be like the last thing that goes on. And so the chain, and then I've got some keys and different things. And then there's just some random things, like this stuff needs to be painted. Over here, like the bird cage, this is a one I think you can get from Michael's. Becky Long gave it to me. And then just a bolt, and then I'm going to use a button. You know, you just take the center piece out of it, and then a light bulb, and this is like supposed to be a lantern, just like that. And then this clock is what I did last time, except for I think the face was a gold color, but I'll show you how to do that. You paint everything and then just pretty much do the same technique as everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and really quick glue this clock face down. So you just turn, I just turned it over. What I'm going to do really quick is just glue these together, some E6000. And then the bottom, or this part, I mean not the bottom, the clock, sorry. I'll just put the clock hands on there, but we have to paint the bottle cap. Just like that. So we're going to paint this, and then I just distress the edges with the, not distress, but I ink the edges with Vintage Photo, and then put glossy accents over it. You can put a cabochon, or you know, something over. You can use like even just a paper clock, you know, if you have that, but that's all I have for that. Hi everyone, I'm back. I let everything dry, and now I am just painting everything black, and I've already started just because it's kind of a little bit of a process, just getting into the cracks and the grooves and stuff. So I just planned on just going over this couple of things with the black paint. So that's what you do next after you have everything on. So on this one you'll have the ball chain around it, and this is the top, and then this is the side with the wing and the gears and the key, and then the back is this with the clock on the top, and then here's the other side, and you'll only paint this much. I actually forgot to paint that little corner. And then, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this one. Sorry, my light, hopefully it's not that bad. I get shadows during the day. bottom, and then just let them dry. And then I'm going to go back to this one that I did and just kind of hit the, like, anything that's still showing. So you'll want to go back over everything. Make sure all your edges are covered. Okay, everyone. So now everything is like pretty much painted black and dried. The one thing that I forgot to mention too is to do the fronts, just the very fronts, just lightly with like the leftover paint on your paintbrush. Do the front of your Matchbox drawers because you're gonna want this to match. So you have everything that you want to match on your Matchbox drawers here, and it's painted black. So the next thing that you're gonna need is just a couple of paintbrushes, and this is what I'm going to use. And then you need a rag or a paper towel will work. And then the two paints that I used are these. They're really old, so they're like really goopy, but it works for this project. I don't even know if you can get these anymore because my mom got them, and they're probably like 10 years old, but they're Dazzling Metallics. And it's by Deco Art. And then this one's the silver one. And then the other paint I used is the Broken China for like the blue hue. You want like a patina after everything's done. Like after you put the silver and the gold on, then you want to use this like a patina color, but I used Broken China. So afterwards. So the technique that I used for this is called dry brushing, and that's what it said in that tutorial too. So what you'll pretty much do is just the first color you're going to want to use is the silver, and it's this paint. I'm just warning you, don't laugh because it's like really old and gross, like, but it works for this. So you just want to get your paint, and then what I did, I just mix this up just a little bit just to kind of get it to like smooth out a little bit. So you just take your brush with just a little bit of paint and you just wipe it off until it's like dry. I don't know if that's explaining it. So you can see it's just barely on there. And then you just take your, so you just pretty much don't want hardly any paint at all, like on your brush. And so then you'll just take it, if you can see that with my horrible lighting, you just take it and lightly go over. And it brings out like the color of the texture. You just kind of have to play with it. I had to research what dry brushing was on the internet and try to just kind of play with it. You just get most of the paint off of your paintbrush and then just lightly go over everything, and it really brings out like the texture from the tissue paper. So like that's pretty much what it's going to look like when you've got it done. Hopefully you can see that pretty good. And then you just keep doing it to all of the pieces. that you have that match. And then you just keep going over everything, just like that. I think this is the funnest part. Whoops, except for that. It's almost like whitewashing. And it's really fairly easy, like once you have like the technique down and you know how much paint you need on your brush pretty much, then it's actually really fun to just kind of see everything come out of that black paint. And you want to make sure that you're doing the side with the aluminum foil as the front on that the little spacer thing. I think I have everything with the silver on it, so we don't need that. You'll still need it for the fronts of the drawers, and I'll show you what to do when we get to that point. We'll just get this all assembled and then we'll do the drawers after. So the next color you're going to want to use is the gold, and you can use any metallic silver, metallic gold, and then like a patina color if you have it. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to bump you. Just get a little stir. Now the gold you don't want as much as the silver, like you don't want to put it on like you did the silver. So I'll show you how to do that. My gold is just the same way as my silver. All goopy, but it works for what I want it to. So I just take a smaller brush. This one's kind of stiff, but it'll work. And I just put it in the paint, not that much. And do the same thing as you did with the silver. And then you're just going to take it, and you're not going to go over like everything. You're just going to go over like pretty much where you want it. I don't know if this brush is going to work. The next thing is the blue, or the patina. And all I pretty much do is shake it up. And then I use this paintbrush. This is the type that I use, like the bristly kind. If you use this is like really, like extremely fluid. So you just need a little bit. And then just do the same thing until like you just get a little bit on the paintbrush. And then I just went kind of just over. Everything, kind of like I did with the silver. So everything's done with the blue, and then I'm just going to go back in with just a tiny bit of the silver and a little bit of the gold and finish it up, and then we'll glue everything together. Just 1 second. Okay, so now let's go back and do the silver with the same technique. Okay, now we're going to glue everything together because I like how it looks. Let me just put the lid on this. Oh, first off, before I do that, I'm going to assemble the little clock. And I just used Vintage Photo, and I'm just using this little thing that I have, and I'm just going to do the edges. The little clock I got from spare parts from, I think, Hobby Lobby. And just kind of do the front just a little bit, not a lot. And then I take some E6000. Put it on there. And then I just put it inside. I'm going to let that dry for just a minute. So it's like that, and then I'll show you what I do in just a second. I'm going to assemble. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it, I just go over lightly with just a little bit of black paint on the corners, because sometimes, it doesn't seal all the way down, or you got gaps, and so it kind of bugs me when you can see red. So, let's see, the first thing we're going to do is put the sides on, and what I used was the Fabri-Tac again, and just to put on the sides. I just take these elastic bands and I put one kind of around the back, and I just wrap it tight so it's like a clamp. So you kind of have to play with it and get it to where you want it to hold. And you don't really have to worry about the stuff that you've got on here too much, because it's supposed to be glued on pretty good. And then the back, let's see. I would be careful with the clock hands because they can still come off. That's what I do to kind of pretty much get it to glue straight, and then hold it all together so that it fits snug, all the little chipboard pieces. So then, while that looks really crooked, I hope I didn't mess it up by doing that. And then, so while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to put some of this crackle accents on the clock. I don't seal it or anything, so like the distress ink that's in there, the vintage photo, is going to kind of bleed a little bit, but I like the look that it gives, so I just put on a thick layer just so that it covers the clock hands and everything. I think that's pretty good. And then the crackle, it will obviously crackle when it dries. And then the other thing is, and I'm going to just show you what I did on my last one, and then I'll probably do it just really quick off camera so that you guys aren't like bored. But my very first Matchboxes I screwed up really bad because I painted the drawers. And then everybody says, well, ink them, but my ink pads, they're really kind of hard to get in there. On the small ones, you can either leave the inside plain or you can color it, but I just use my Spectrum Noirs, the black, and then I just color the inside just really quick. You can use a black Sharpie, just don't paint them. That was like my biggest mistake, because I thought that's what everybody was doing, because everything was like, people would have the inside black or whatever, or whatever color they had for their project, and I never could figure out. So I thought that it was paint, and yeah, I couldn't open my drawers. I could barely get them in. So I just color pretty much the inside. Okay, everyone. The base is dry, and I've done some of the fronts of the drawers, and hold on one second. Just so that it would save time, I guess. But I'll still show you what I did, and I put them in place, and I'll show you why here in a minute, just to kind of mark to make them even. So it pretty much dried flat. I did have to take it apart because I glued it upside down. So make sure you watch the direction of everything being glued. So what I'm going to do now is I saved a drawer. I'm going to show you how to do the fronts, and I used my Spectrum Noir to color the insides and the outsides, and it doesn't really like matter if there's lines or whatever, because the only reason why I did do the outsides is so that when it's getting pulled out, it wouldn't be like clashing with everything seeing the white. So that's what I did. So let me see. Let's do how I did. I do the same technique on the fronts as I do on the rest of the dressers. So I start with the silver again, and I just need a little bit, and then with my rag, and you can do it right over what you've colored with the marker. It doesn't matter, because the black will still shine through. So you just pretty much just dry brush on there. And then I take the gold and put a little bit somewhere else, not on the silver, on your rag. Okay. And then you just go over it. Take the blue, and I think I might still have some blue on my brush. Got with the blue, and then I just go back over it with a little bit of the silver, just to kind of make it shine on top of that blue. I don't know. Let's see if I can get this to focus better. No. My camera's being really funny lately. I don't know what's up with it. And then just go back over it with the gold. Just a tiny bit. And let's see. And then I just push it in there. Oh, first, before we do that, I cut out, my last one I used the Industrial Chic and Burma papers. On this one I just used some music note paper I got from Becky in our swap, and I just went around the edges of it with the vintage photo. And so I've already done all of that, and I've put it in the other drawers. So I'm just going to go ahead I just do it after I'm done painting and get the front the way that I want it, so that way if anything does get on the inside, you can just cover it up with the paper. The tutorial that I got this from, they did some other kind of paper, like a steampunk paper, and then they took the Tim Holtz tiny stamps, and I don't remember the name. I think it might just be tiny stamps, but it's different things. And she stamped it on the inside, and it looked really cool, but I don't have those stamps, so just use whatever you have. And then I just push the drawers in, not all the way, so you can still get them out, just probably that far, or, you know, however far you need to be able to still get them out. And then I just take a marker or a pen, and I just mark the fronts the best that I can, the middle, and that's not it. About there. A little bit nerve-wracking doing this on camera. So just pretty much like that, and then I take the drawers out, and what I'm going to use, I used some of them last time, but I'm going to use these Prima brads. I think they're the Junkyard Findings, but you can use these Tim Holtz, and I've only got like one left, these Tim Holtz ring fasteners. And there are these things right there. And there's also some like little, I forget what they're called, like handles from Prima. And you can use those as well, or like anything that you can find. Let's see. Just need my little poker. And then just use your poker, and then just poke the hole through it. Without stabbing yourself. What it looks like. The next thing that you'll do is, let's push all those in, is I would do probably the back, and I've picked out this filigree, oops, and then this button's going to go on top of it, and I'm just going to glue it right there. And I'm going to use some E6000, if I can find it. My table gets a little hairy when I'm doing projects. Okay. So what I do is I just, on the filigrees, I don't have to worry so much with this one, but sometimes they're like, you know, you can see through them. So I just kind of be a little bit more generous on the glue. Okay. And then the button we'll put on next after that dries. And then also, here's the bottle cap when the crackle stuff inside is dry. That's what it looks like. And then that's just going to sit right there. And then the little lantern's going to sit there. And I think the little bird cage is going to sit right there. And then we have to put on this, which I'll do after that kind of sets up, and put on chain. So just take some E6000. And it will just look like that. And then, let's see. Maybe I will go ahead right now and put this on the top and clamp it with the filigree on the back. Okay, so that's pretty much set up enough. I could take those clothespins off. So now I'm going to put the little button on, and I'm going to use E6000 again. Hold that on there, and then while I'm waiting for that to set up, I'm going to cut the chain and stuff for the for like the back and stuff that I did on the other one. So I just used this, the Blue Moon beads chain, and I just cut, like, I just kind of estimated from one point to the other, like how much I want. Okay, I just went ahead and attached it off camera because I was kind of having difficulty getting the jump rings and the chain to like look even, because I did put one of my, it looks like when the chain hangs, it looks like this clock end is like more up, and it probably is. So I had to use different jump rings, but you just pretty much just attach, you know, your chain from here to there, and there's the button, and the glue's kind of set up. So I took the thing off, and these little keys, you can get them from Craft Supplies 1, and they're just little heart keys. Any kind of key that, you know, goes with the your little Matchbox dresser when you make it, you can use. It doesn't matter. I think I used the very first ones that I used, tried to use these ones. I used one of them, I think, on my last one because my clock hands stood up higher than these ones. So, and then if you get like little gouges like that from trying to attach your chain and getting things where they need to be. You can always just go back and touch it up with the same technique pretty much. Just with like the gold and the silver and the blue, or you know, you can just hit it with whatever color you think would go there in that spot. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my little Matchbox dresser, and this is my very first tutorial, so I hope that after editing it turns out good. So if you have any questions, if I haven't covered anything or something and you want to know more, please leave a comment. Anything like that below, just please be kind. I'll just kind of give you just a quick overview of everything, and I'll leave the link to the original tutorial that I got off Pinterest below. And so that's pretty much it. So hopefully I'll have another project to share with you guys soon, and I hope that you've enjoyed this and it's kind of covered everything that you wanted to know. So I will talk to you later. Bye.